On the 8th of June 2026, 25 opposition parties gathered in Delhi. Kharge was there, Rahul Gandhi, Akhilesh Yadav, Mamata Banerjee. They issued a 5-point statement, letter to the CJI on electoral rolls, demand for the education minister's resignation over NEET, call for an all-party meeting on the economic crisis. They said they will meet again in August, in Hyderabad. It looked like unity. Now here's what was happening in the same city at the same time. About a kilometre from the meeting room, at the residence of Union Minister Bhupender Yadav, 11 TMC MPs were holding their own closed-door meeting with BJP leaders. Mamata Banerjee, the TMC Supremo, was inside the India Bloc room. Her own MPs were being received, reportedly warmly, barely a kilometre away. That is either a coincidence or it is the story. We've covered the Bengal TMC crisis across recent episodes, but let us place a marker here for those just arriving. TMC lost Bengal in 2026. 80 seats remain. BJP won over 200. In the weeks since, 57 rebel MLAs elected their own leader of opposition. 2 MLAs were expelled for asking procedural questions. Mamata's Dharna drew 8 MLAs. Her emergency meeting was skipped by 60 of 80. And today, while Mamata sat in Delhi discussing how to unite the opposition against BJP, Sukhendu Sekhar Ray, the TMC's Rajya Sabha chief whip for 13 years, resigned from the party, filed his letter, walked out. Then 11 MPs joined him at a meeting with BJP leadership. Their stated position is, we are forming a separate bloc. We will support the NDA. They claim they are the real Trinamool. One detail that deserves a pause. In Indian political culture, to call a leader by their first name instead of a title of respect is to signal something specific. For decades, Mamata Banerjee was Didi, elder sister, inviolable. Today, reports note, some of her own legislators and MPs are calling her by her name, not Didi, Mamata. This is not only TMC. In April 2026, Raghav Chadha, one of the most recognizable faces of AAP, someone who once said he was a student of what he called Kejriwal School of Politics, announced that 7 AAP Rajya Sabha MPs would merge with BJP, not defect, merge. 2/3 of AAP's Rajya Sabha presence gone in a single press conference. And AAP was also, by the way, not present at today's India Bloc meeting. There is a pattern here. The opposition is losing members not through corruption scandals, not through arrests, not through one MP going quietly at night. They are losing them through mergers, through organized departures, through factions that wait for the moment to crystallize and then go publicly. That is not defection. Defection is 2 people. This is structural fracture. Now here is the thing nobody wants to say directly. The India Bloc has a structural problem that has nothing to do with BJP. Look at who was in that room today. Congress, TMC, Samajwadi Party, NCP, JMM, and who wasn't? DMK stayed away. Their reason? They feel Congress betrayed them by inviting TVK, a rival party in Tamil Nadu, and not formally consulting DMK. That tells you everything. Because consider what DMK and Congress are to each other. Nationally, natural allies. Natural ideological partners, both secular, both anti-BJP. In Tamil Nadu, competitors. Congress gets 7% of the vote in Tamil Nadu. If Congress stays in the alliance, that 7% stays inside the DMK umbrella. If Congress walks away or is pushed away, that 7% dilutes DMK's margin. So Congress, even when it is weak, is strategically useful to DMK. But here is the problem. A stronger Congress nationally means a weaker DMK in Tamil Nadu, because they compete for the same voter. So DMK needs Congress to be weak enough in Tamil Nadu to remain junior, but strong enough nationally to be a credible opposition anchor. And Congress needs DMK to win Lok Sabha seats, but increasingly wants to rebuild its own base in Tamil Nadu instead of remaining permanently junior. The same logic applies to SP in Uttar Pradesh, to RJD in Bihar, to Congress and TMC in Bengal. Everyone in this alliance needs everyone else to be powerful enough to win centrally, but not so powerful that they start winning in the states the others control. That is not a temporary disagreement. That is a structural impossibility. And it manifested in the alliance's 2024 campaign song. Remember the campaign song? दिल्ली में प्रवेश के खातिर, राहुल और अखिलेश के खातिर, संविधान बचाना है तो वोट करो इस देश के खातिर. Vote for this country's sake, for Rahul and Akhilesh. Why Akhilesh? Because the lyrics of a national campaign were already doing regional maths. SP voters in UP needed to see Akhilesh. National voters needed to see Rahul. 2 names, 2 voter bases, 1 song. That is not alliance building. That is seat-sharing anxiety compressed into a refrain. Here is the deeper question, and this is where it gets uncomfortable. The India Bloc today discussed NEET, students, exam failures, institutional collapse, rising prices, unemployment, youth frustration. These are real problems. And yet, the CJP, an independent youth movement, organized massive protests at Jantar Mantar. Students marched without a party banner. Frustration is being channeled through civil society in a way that formal opposition parties seem unable to capture. Why? Congress says BJP controls institutions, BJP controls media, BJP controls CBI, ED, everything. The playing field is tilted, possibly. But in 1975, opposition leaders were in jail. The press was under emergency censorship. The playing field was more tilted than anything we see today. And the opposition still won. Because JP Narayan became a vessel for public anger. Because Ram Manohar Lohia had built a politics that people believed in beyond electoral arithmetic. Because Morarji Desai, Charan Singh, Advani, whatever their differences, collectively felt like something other than just more people who wanted power. There is no such vessel today. Not because institutions are captured, because the opposition has not built one. Stalin's dynasty, Gandhi family's dynasty, Yadav dynasty, SP and RJD, Banerjees, Karunanidhis. These are not moral accusations, these are perceptions. And in Indian politics, perception is the infrastructure of trust. When the common voter looks at the opposition and sees the same surnames, the same families, the same networks, the instinct is not, these people will save the constitution. The instinct is, these people also want their turn at it. So let us return to the meeting. 25 parties, 5 decisions. Press conference with Mamata standing alongside Rahul, standing alongside Kharge, standing alongside Akhilesh. The image is unity. The subtext is considerably more complicated. One of the leaders in that image was watching her own Rajya Sabha whip resign from a few hundred meters away. Another party in that alliance had already lost its upper house presence to BJP in a mass merger 2 months ago. A third had boycotted the meeting entirely over a disagreement about who gets invited to a Tamil Nadu party's function. And the bloc that calls itself the Indian National Developmental Inclusive Alliance, INDIA, still does not have a shared seat-sharing framework, a common campaign doctrine, or an agreed answer to the question, who leads the coalition into 2029? Kharge said all leaders aired their views freely. He did not take any questions from the press. The opposition's argument is, India needs a united opposition. They are not wrong. The problem is the sentence that follows it. Because the question is not whether India needs one. The question is, can an alliance become a vehicle for national unity when many of its own members are struggling to remain nationally unified themselves? Can you ask voters to trust you with the country when your own legislators are changing sides in a kilometre radius from where you are making the case? Can you demand the government be more accountable while refusing to answer questions at your own press conference? There is a version of the opposition that could become a genuine alternative. History has seen it happen. JP Narayan proved it was possible. What that requires is not 5 decisions, it requires 1. The decision to stop being a coalition of competing ambitions and start being a coalition of a common purpose. That decision was not made today, maybe in August, in Hyderabad. You were watching Fault Lines. I'm Abhijit.